Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Fasting Space. Hope you're so well today. Really great to have you here. Grab a coffee and let's dial in on some motivation. If you were with me yesterday, gave you a challenge for December. Make it through December, hit January 1st, minus 5 pounds. And we talked through why 5 is kind of the goal and not something more or less. You set your own goal, we'll be just fine. And of course, we get to the end of December and we said, okay, we stretch ourselves with a goal. We're moving toward it. It's like we got all these forces pulling us this way. And so we're trying to create a little force going the other way. If we get to the end of December and we say, even if we're just neutral, we didn't quite hit the goal, neutral, not too bad. And December, often the very most difficult month for people to maintain weight even or lose weight because so many things pulling in the other direction. Cold weather and holidays and so much food and all these things. So we're going to create some force going in the other direction. And I'll do my best to help you try to hit that goal. Absolutely. Because wouldn't that be fun? Sitting there on January 1st, say, I just made it through the hardest month of the year, and look what has happened. Already, the weight is down, and now we're launching into January. We're going to power through the winter, and spring is coming, and it is going to set us up for a powerful and exciting 2026. So you say, okay, I like that idea. That sounds exciting. That sounds like a good way to get through December. Oh, but I could use a pinch, just a pinch, more motivation. And so I'm going to try to deliver that today. I'm going to try to help you deliver it to yourself. Get your own motivation through this story. So have a little fun with me here. And let's do a little silly dreaming, okay? You picture this. You're at a social engagement. A party, a get-together of some kind, you're chatting with people, you end up striking a conversation with this very eccentric philanthropist sort of character. And they are talking, you're talking, and you say, oh, I really would like to lose weight, but I don't have this motivation. They're kind of asking you about health. And they're like, oh, what's the struggle? And you're like, wouldn't it be great to be able to lose weight in December? He says, I tell you what, I'm going to give you some motivation. I want you to be down 5 pounds by January 1st, and I will give you $1 million if you do it. Like, what? Like, that can't be real. This is like a scam. You're thinking, no. He's like, hey, Dan. He calls his lawyer over. He calls his accountant over. He's like, draw up some papers. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to give some serious motivation. Okay, picturing this in your mind just for fun. Are you seeing it? What would your thoughts be? Like if it was real? If you really had it, wouldn't it be exciting? Good morning. Pat is here. Hope you're doing so well today. What would you be thinking in this scenario? Just have some fun with it and think, okay, would you be upset about it? Would you be upset about losing weight, doing it? And you start putting the things together. Say, what would be the steps that I have to take to do it? Wouldn't you start working the problem? I mean, I know I would. I would get really excited. I would be, oh my gosh, are you kidding? Like, I will do it. Like, whatever it takes. As a huge windfall is coming, wouldn't that fill the days with excitement? Wouldn't you be like, oh my gosh, I am stepping toward this prize? You would wake up, I would, with a skip in my step. I would be like, this is so great, and I would be just dialed in. This is the type of mindset that I want to help us generate. Excited, enthusiastic, dialed in. Treating each day as a beautiful opportunity to move toward an incredible goal. See, this story that I am spinning for you is an incredible story. But the story of our life is an incredible story. We are writing, we are creating the story of our life, and we can take this mindset and we can draw a lot from it. Absolutely. This thinking that I was doing. $1,000,000 motivation is coming from the talk that I did the other week on fasting wealth. Thinking about parallels between accumulating savings and accumulating health. Building wealth, building health. The thing that I loved from that talk. Health is wealth. Money not of so much value if you don't have health. If you are in a severely bad place with health, you just spend all your money to try to get healthy, to do your best to hang on to as much health as you can. So where is the best investment really? What helps us to feel the best, to find peace and satisfaction, happiness, contentment in life? Health got to be the biggest investment. I had a little analogy or a story like this that was like someone offers you a huge amount of money, but then the catch is you have to have a severe cold for the rest of your life. You're going to be stuffed up and a headache and achy and things. So it wouldn't be worth any amount of money, to me anyway. So here we got $1,000,000 motivation. Think about picturing those days. What would that be like? Yeah, get excited till 3. If you're trying to do an OMAD, you're trying to get, to dinner or something like this, and then till 3 we're excited. What is the boost? This is what we want. We want the boost that'll help get you through that space. What I want to paint for you is this picture. Okay, a huge motivation. We've got this space. Would the money do it? Could the money give you a little boost if there's really this huge prize on the other side? And then you can start to ask yourself some questions. Like, this is where I would encourage a journaling on it. If the money can give you a boost in our fanciful scenario, you have to say, what do I really want? If I can boost myself, say, would money take me there? Is health a bigger priority than money? Or is it not? Now, no judgment, because I got to tell you, I would be significantly motivated by this story for whatever health goal. I am not personally trying to lose 5 pounds. I've lost all the weight I ever wanted. I have my own, goals. I still do fasting because for every other good thing, including anti-cancer properties of it, I have a whole series I want to do on that. All kinds of potential longevity benefits that I want to accrue and save up. But I got to tell you, even someone says 5 pounds, I'd be like, sign me up. Okay, I'm going to hit it hard for the big prize. So whatever it is, so I'd be swayed by that. A lot of people swayed by that. You say that's not wrong to do it, but let's use that then to center ourselves and think about what are the things that are truly important in life. What are the things that motivate us most of all? We just got through the Thanksgiving sort of space, and we're talking about, the things that truly matter, connection with friends and family, enjoying beautiful moments and creating memories. Okay. The health motivation is about more of that. Filling our life with as much of that good memories. Got to be healthy to maximize that. Hard to do in this culture because this culture is pulling us in directions that says, oh, this is not really how you be happy. This is not how you find contentment. Always you should be comfortable. Never should you stretch yourself in a direction. If you're feeling a little bit of hunger, that's bad, and you're probably even hurting yourself, as opposed to the reality, as best I can see it, which is that if we are not in the perfect metabolic space, we're struggling with insulin resistance, there's more weight in the system, which means just more energy and resources than we need, that actually opening up a space to allow the body to use that can actually be one of the greatest gifts of health that you can give yourself. But like Many things of value in life. It can be an obstacle to get toward it. That is the barrier to entry to fasting. That there can be some hunger, right? That 3 o'clock hits and you're like, I had dialed in till 5 or 6 or whatever it is. Is it worth the investment? Okay, to invest, to save some money, say, we can hit a button, we can make a transfer, we can, and then it's there. The only way that you can make investments in health, you have to do something, right? You have to get to the gym. You have to do the walk. You have to prepare the healthy meal or purchase the healthy thing, or you have to open up the fasting space. The thing with a fasting wealth, the wealth of health, nobody can give it to you, and you can't really buy it. So if we think, okay, we're back to our fanciful scenario. If we have the potential, $1 million windfall, just to hit -5 on the scale, well, that might influence some of our thinking on how we're spending money over that month, right? If we could maybe get $1 million, but we're not completely confident, right? Maybe we have struggled with a weight plateau for a long time. I say, do you know the plan? Right here, I talked to you about the plan. As plan I talked to you yesterday, plan I talked to you about every day. But if you are not confident, you might hire some people. We might say, I might be willing to spend some of that money if we can guarantee it. Like, who would be the people you would hire? Like, if you could hire a team to help you, this is what I was thinking about. If you invest some amount of money, if it actually solidifies getting that, might be a worthwhile actual investment. So one of the things that you could do is get a personal trainer, right? That's what I was thinking about. Like, we could really start spending some money. Say, I'll get a personal trainer. Could you exercise your way to 5 pounds of weight loss in 1 month? You probably could. Lots of people do that. This is the default path for many people. Many people who not dialing in December, going to be resetting the clock on January 1st. They're going to wake up and they're going to say, oh, now we got to start over. Okay. And then they're going to start looking for what it is, and they'll see the gym advertisements, and then they'll see lots of other people doing that. This is kind of the cycle. Nothing wrong with going to a gym. Please do it. Nothing wrong with getting a personal trainer. A personal trainer, wonderful thing to do. But a personal trainer can't work out for you. This is the point I want to make. Personal trainer can't do it for you. They can come and yell at you. They can show you the way to do the moves and the things to try to motivate you. But now we've already got the motivation. If you got the motivation, say, well, didn't I do that talk the other day? Like, the best things in life are free, all right? Taking a walk, you don't need a personal trainer to help you take a walk, and taking a walk are the most healthy exercise things you could do. Okay, you could hire a personal chef, okay? That would be if you got $1 million coming in and you hire specifically like a nutritionist chef who's like, I want you to prepare me only the most exceptional, healthy, low-carb, minimally processed meals, and then you have to do no work. So you just have to say, I'm going to eat only these natural things from the earth. So say you could do that. But best things in life are free. Best things in life also are basically simple and natural. And you don't need gourmet meals. I'll tell you, you don't need gourmet meals. The things that often are healthiest for the body are just natural whole foods. Don't necessarily require a lot of gourmet cooking. But if something could help you, but a chef can't eat for you either. This is the thing. And then the other path, so I'm laying out the paths of the things that could get you there. These would be, I think, what do you think? The top 2 things that a person would do. I'm going to get a trainer, and I'm going to get a chef. I'm going to eat the healthiest foods only, and I'm going to dial in on super exercise. I'll tell you, it probably could work. A lot of people could lose 5 pounds doing that. What I want to open up to you in our space, on our challenge, leaning into this fasting path. The thing that I especially like about a fasting path, no money. You say, well, I want a fasting coach. I'm going to hire Dr. Z. You could do it if you're in Wisconsin, where my medical license is. I'm doing consulting. You actually could do it. But here you got fasting space. Dial in on fasting space. Actually got a fasting coach for free right here, is great. Most people going to dial in on the diet, exercise, fine. Fasting, a whole nother dial. And to me, if you're really trying to set up what we're really trying to do in December here, bring this whole process into our life. We're trying to create a lifestyle. The lifestyle of health we're pulling into December, into this difficult month where it's difficult for people to lose weight. Say, we are opening our mind. We are like thinking big. We're priming with incredible stories to say, oh, there's motivation here. You can tell yourself a story like that just for fun. Oh, what if I had $1 million? You can dream it up. You can see the experience, and it's giving you a template. You're in your journal saying, what do I really want? I really do want to make it through December and have weight loss in December happening, and always threading our needle like we did at Thanksgiving, right? We want to carve out the precious time with family, the beautiful foods that help us to enrich our experience and create beautiful memories and experience. We want to have that. That's the balance. So we're trying to delineate and shape out the remaining 30 days of 2025 as we are here together today. What do all these days look like? And what is the path that actually gets us toward -5, if that's your goal? It's kind of what I'm throwing out there. If -5 is the goal, say, really the path to me looks like -7 plus 2, whatever it is. You want to shape that experience with it. Fasting to me is the thing that makes this extra possible. I don't know if you're like me and my family, December gets so crazy. There's so many things to do. We got shopping lists and errands and decorating and seeing these people and those. It's like it can really, turn into a stressful time. What should be, to me, especially here in Madison, the snow is falling. It's beautiful here now. Should be just a season. To me, winter, if we're looking at the natural cycle, is like a season of rest. Animals like hibernating, or they're flying out to some beautiful destination. But if you're sticking here in the frozen north, the trees are sleeping, the animals are hunkered down, it's quiet, not so much going on. I always want to try to make a holiday season mirror something like that, from a season of just busyness and stress and consuming things, and say, hey, look at what nature is doing here. Oh, I should bring our nature scene in. This was my Thanksgiving. I hiked up a hill. This was before the big snowstorm hit. Hiked up a hill at my parents' beautiful place outside of Madison, and just watched the breeze blowing through the grasses, watching the clouds rolling across the sky. And to me, this is like the start of our winter season. Openness, and then a resting in a natural space. So we want to bring that sort of mindset into this space, mirroring the natural world, leaning into it in a beautiful fashion. I got 2 quotes here that I'm going to share with you about this. Building our motivation, building the excitement. Check out this quote from Nelson Mandela. It always seems impossible until it's done. What do you think of that? Think of Nelson Mandela. Apartheid, think of this. And then it's undone. Now, he didn't do it in a month. But, wow. You say there's something impossible that'll never go away, and then it did. Have you ever lost weight in December? Have you gone through a cycle? This is not something that usually happens for people. You say, that is impossible. Have you gone through a December where you had a great time, connected with friends and family, and lost weight through it? That would be like, super threading the needle, the best possible outcome. That would create an incredible blueprint for every future year. Like, here's the puzzle. Here's how we solve the puzzle. You work with some crazy, puzzle, and you're like, oh, you figured it out. This is what we're trying to figure out together. What is the way of being, the way of navigating through the holiday season, through the difficult month of December, and coming out the other side and saying, hey, this was a great experience. Seemed impossible until it's done. I've seen it done. I have done it in my weight consulting practice with people. And even when I didn't have a resource like this, where I could connect with people every day. I hope this is helpful for you. And I want this to be your space. If you have ideas, say, hey, this is a concept that I struggle with. Bring it in. We'll talk about it. But stepping together every day through December, weekdays anyway, like to me, this feels like the way you do it. Building community, people coming together, saying this, I'm not alone doing this. Say, take something that seemed impossible, open our mind, actually do it. All right, that's Nelson Mandela. And then we got this one from Theodore Roosevelt. Do what you can with what you have where you are. I love this quote. This is such a grounding quote. This is like, just take what is here. This present moment. See, this is where we are. We're here in this present moment. We're here in this space. Just do what you can. Do what you can, to me, is like the mindset that we're going for. We're not stressing ourselves out. We're not overwhelming things. Do what you can with what you have. Also, to me, is like the thing I'm trying to share. We're like anti-consumption culture is the mindset. Consumption culture say you have to buy your way to health and happiness. Fasting giving us a path to say, I have everything I need right here. This is where I'm going with saying, okay, if you had all the money in the world and you could hire a personal trainer and a personal chef and you could have a personal, life coach who could just be with you, encouraging you all the time. You see, you could spend thousands and thousands of dollars in a month on all of these things. You want to realize, okay, we have everything I need. This is what the Roosevelt quote is telling us. You don't actually need any of these things. A trainer couldn't do the walking for you. A personal chef couldn't eat the healthy food for you. The healthy foods could be as simple as just, very basic things. Like an omelet, an omelet is like a core thing. You can strip that down, just make an egg, egg, totally no carbs. People like it, satisfying, healthy fats, proteins. If you're on a plant-based spectrum, you say, I don't want meat and dairy, you get some protein. You make a tofu scramble with turmeric and a little, that'll dye it yellow, tasty, a little salt and pepper. You can barely tell if you do it right. So some sort of protein, some sort of veggie, you can do that very, very simply. You don't need a personal chef to get the very healthiest food. Do what you can with what you have. Don't need anything else where you are. We don't have to travel. We don't have to do anything. Right here in this very room, wherever you're watching this right now, you have everything that you need, including the mindset. Mindset is probably the very most important thing. That's where we're trying to go today. $1 million motivation. We throw out something so big. it's like, whoa, does that get you through a space? And then we try to build out the perspective on health, a bigger perspective on health, a deeper appreciation for it. This is how we get into a space really of gratitude. A bigger concept of health is a deeper practice of gratitude for it. And hopefully I'm setting up this dichotomy that there is health as wealth, the true valuable thing. As fun as it would be, as incredible or life-changing, you say, to get a huge, like winning the lottery, right? Wouldn't you like to win the lottery in January? Say, my whole life is different. Now I have all this money. I can hire the personal trainer. What are you going to do with it? You say, well, buy a bigger house and a fancy car. Is that going to bring satisfaction to life? It wouldn't. The health, like how much satisfaction would you actually have to say, hey, I actually did this thing. I navigated through December, had a great time, lost weight, felt better, and I physically feel better in my being, both physically and mentally, because do you think, would you feel better if you lost weight? That's part of it. If you're on a weight loss path, you say, I think I probably feel better. Feel healthy, feel more energy. This is the biggest thing, apart from a number on a scale, is just to feel more energy. This is the thing. You get the metabolism going in a fasting space. Have you experienced this? That, as the body, we described yesterday, as we're looking at fasting as the door that you walk through to open up, the key that opens the door into the energy storage room of the body. Where you say, okay, all the food energy is gone. Nothing else is here to power the body. The body's like, well, what are we going to do now? You think, does it like not know? No, it knows. It's like, oh, this is how we get down to that room. Got to walk down the stairs, open the door, say, this is where we're storing the long-term energy. If you're not used to doing that, the body's like, oh, we piled boxes in front of the door, everything. Like literally, that's the thing. With no autophagy space, the cells fill up with damaged proteins, stuff that it doesn't need. It's like waiting for the opportunity to get rid of it. What the fasting space does, opens up a space. Let us get into there. Say, hey, we gotta clear out the hallway just to be able to get to the back room. That's the video I put on here. Your metabolism is a fire, and I got the picture of the fire. And we are burning through, all the brambles and brush that we left on in a pile to take care of. Fasting is a space that's going to let us burn through that. And as we're burning through that, that's improving our cellular efficiency. That looks like the energy level increasing, body ramping it up, saying, oh, now we're getting it. We're getting this flow of energy coming. And that can feed forward then into the other paths. If you're opening up a fasting space, metabolism getting going, you're feeling that energy, then it's going to make it easier to flow into the exercise path. And those two things can have definitely a beautiful, virtuous spiral. You get more active. You, in general, feel more energized. Guaranteed normal blood pressure and cholesterol would be enough to motivate me. See, that would be a great contract if you could sign it. Guaranteed, man, all the health parameters. See, that is health as a goal. That's saying, can't really buy that. But I totally agree. In this sort of thing, you can't issue a guarantee on it. And we were talking about blood pressure the other day. My experience with blood pressure and fasting specifically is some people have a real profound effect to it, but in the short term, but it's not everybody. I've got some of the statistics from this study. In my study that I did at the university, I haven't seen a lot of, not many studies at all coming to my mind that have specifically studied fasting and blood pressure. But my experience, somewhere 25, 30, 35% in there will have really a profound thing. Switching on to 16-8 OMAD, people right away, even before weight loss, will have a blood pressure effect. We talked a little about that. And then a larger percentage of people, as weight is coming down, then that helps blood pressure also. Blood pressure, very multifactorial thing. Same with cholesterol. Fasting can have significant benefits on lowering cholesterol, but it's not a magic experience. It's not like, oh, I just switched on 16:8 and cholesterol is perfect now, or I get to OMAD. But dial it in and it can help with both of those things. And like most things in life, we have different responses. People have different experiences with it. But what I can tell you about it is that there is a level of fasting, and then there's a balance also with every other health practice in which we dial it in, and the weight loss is pretty much guaranteed at some level. And really, I mean, I don't like using the word, guarantee for things. But, in a pure fasting space, energy cannot be created out of nowhere, and you will lose weight at some point with the aggressive enough fasting. And what we're really trying to do with this practice is find the line. Where do we turn that dial where it's like we're dialing in just enough power to get the effect that we want, to get that space that we need without being overwhelmed. And that's what the training process is. We can train ourselves to tolerate first and enjoy secondly. That's the process. A more and more intense process. As we dial it in, we're just finding that edge and staying on the inside of the edge. We're not cranking it over the top where it feels too intense. Keep it on the inside edge where it just feels like a curious, joyful exploration. It's like, hey, here I am in a training program. I'm doing a process, learning how to open up more of this space. You're on that edge. You say, I want to go till 5:30, but it's 3 and we're kind of hitting that edge. And that's kind of the experimental zone where it's like, okay, my body's kind of hitting this point, and that's where I'm really starting to feel it. That's like dialing in the right weight that you're lifting for your, muscle tone. Building the practice out over time. So like I said the other day, we're trying to have a lifestyle and a health expression, a lifelong path of health. That's what I want to help people get on. That takes the pressure down. When you're on a lifelong path, all right, tiny step every day, moving toward the direction. Like we said, 1/7 of a pound a day, tiny step, going to get us toward 5 pounds over the next 30 days. Next 30 days going to take us through the holiday. Especially as we get toward Christmas season, already probably people planning gifts, right? This is the thing to think about. Gifts, for everybody on the list. We talked through in this space, we got the unlimited funds. We're going to hire a whole staff to help us. And then we're seeing, okay, what really is the staff going to do? And other than just tell us to do the things that we have, the tools that we have, an exercise path, a healthy food path, and then the superpower path, a fasting path that makes every good decision in the other path better, more powerful. That is the gift you want to give yourself. Take a little time to think about this. In the holiday season, in the stress of it, especially, you're a thoughtful, caring person. You're working to help everybody else have the best experience. What is the gift that you can give yourself this holiday? If you could give yourself one thing, what would it be? The guarantee. The blood pressure and cholesterol problems are gone. Wouldn't that be a great gift? The gifts of health that you can give yourself are these paths. No one else can do it for you. No one else can give it to you. And so that would be hopefully the motivating thing to say. As I'm thinking this through myself, as I'm making my own plans, my holiday eating, my exercise routine, staying active, staying strong through the winter, I'm thinking through, okay, no one can do it for me. I thought, a lot of mornings I get up early and I try to hit the bike, here in the cold weather before the show, before I go live. And then I've already done it, but then today I didn't. I slept in today and, get the kids off to school. And so I was like, and that's fine. Always having grace with yourself. But then I'm thinking in my mind, all right, got to make myself do it. Nobody else can do it for us. So a gift of being strong, a gift of staying on a path is a gift we can only give ourselves. Like the Roosevelt quote, we can do it with what we have right here. Don't need to buy anything else to do it. I say let's give ourselves that gift. We have to make the hard choices to do it. We have to say no to things. No to sleeping in the warm bed when it's cold out. You're going to get up and get after it with some exercise to start the day on the powerful track. Put the treats and the special foods in their place. A fasting path so helpful with that, because if you can just stick in a window and say, hey, I'm on a window, it's like we're knocking out 18 hours of the day where that is just not happening. Then we don't have to think about it. That's how we can flow through the space, get the body used to it, where we're rolling through that space. Now we only have to make a few decisions. If we are eating at noon and 6, or we say that's too intense, maybe say, I'm going to take the pressure off. I'll have a snack at 3 o'clock. Nothing wrong with it. Have a snack there if it takes the pressure off, and then the meal, is a very tight window already. If you have like a late snack, 3 gets you through, and then the meal, if that feels right, if that takes pressure off, or you're experimenting on that dial, you say, know what, I'm going to just breathe through this. I'm going to take a walk through this. I'm going to journal through it. And we're going to hit that space, dial in all our beautiful choices. Do you feel motivated in general? I'd love to hear. Tell me what you think. Are you feeling motivated? Does our story bring you motivation? Does the health goals, does it bring you motivation? Do you struggle with it? Are there deeper levels of motivation that you struggle with? I would love to hear and do some thinking about it. I definitely do some reflecting on it. Are there topics or things as we are walking on this path through December that you would like to see? Let me know. You can send me an email. Also, if you put it in the chat, I'll put it in the chat for you. Dr. Z at simplefasting.com. Love to hear from you. And we will keep stepping on this path together. I hope you are encouraged by this session. I wish you a great day. I will be back tomorrow. More thoughts. We'll keep walking on this path toward better health together. Have a great day, everybody.